Hey YouTube, Warbles on a lot here. Isn't that a bit of a blast from the past? For about the past 6 months, we've been used to seeing this. However, on Sunday afternoon at, Sunday evening, 20 past 7 Eastern Daylight Saving Time, I was making a movie about how well my Raindance was running, and I showed off this gauge here, which at the time was just up around the hairminus. Actually, I think it had gone from 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch. Well, as you can see, it's now up around the 2.5 inches mark. And this gauge is not particularly accurate in terms of absolute rainfall. By this gauge here, I've had 60 millimetres since the rain started falling on Sunday morning with 10 millimetres. And then I think there was 23 millimetres, and then there was 30 millimetres last night. So, all well and good. However, if you go and have a look at the previous movie on my scroll, I think it's called Sundown Raindance Response, you'll see in there, 22 seconds into the movie, there's a lightning flash. 3 seconds after the lightning flash, you can hear the thunder. So that means that 3,000 feet away, or 1,000 yards, 1,000 metres, that's the closest approach of the lightning to here. And I'm afraid the induced current flow from the long and medium wave aerial together with an earth wire which was connected to the radio, which was operating at the time using its transformer running off 240 volt current supplied by the inverter, as well as that little airband shortwave antenna with its coaxial cable, which was also connected up in clear contravention, I suppose I should have said, of section tiddly pom poo of the Thou Shalt Not Act, where it says clearly and unambiguously, unplug and disconnect external antennas during lightning storms. So this device, which used to be pretty good once upon a time, now has functional displays, but absolutely zero signal coming through. And it doesn't matter where you go or what band you use. And yesterday I went and had a talk to the town's one remaining radio technician, trained on radio and television, and he listened to the story and he just laughed and he said, "Nah, it's completely destroyed. You've fried the entire front end of the circuit," was what he said. So there we go. It is no longer a radio set. And I got to say, it was never much of a success because the modified square waves from the 240 volt inverter that produces household power for me made such an incredibly loud roaring noise on every band except FM that I could never actually hear anything at night when you get a good strong medium wave and long wave and short wave signal, because the lights and the inverter would kill the radio signal. During the day, when the inverter was not on, if you ran the radio on battery, yeah, you could use it as a medium wave radio, but it was not, any particular advantage because the sun's up there in the sky making so much noise you can't get any long distance stations. Same went for airband. I'd never heard a single thing on the airband. So it was a bit of a waste of money. And the other thing was the speaker was absolute distorted shit unless the air temperature was above 20 degrees as shown here on the internal hut temperature, and that generally required lighting the fire if you wanted the radio to sound anything other than dog shit. So, killed by a lightning strike because I didn't realise that they were really serious when they said you got to disconnect the external aerial. And here's the funny bit, even with all the external aerials, it never got as good a reception on the external aerials as it did when I simply wound the phone cord that goes to my landline around the telescopic aerial. And this not only gives superior listening performance, it doesn't kill the radio when there's a lightning strike, even if the lightning strike...
Such a treat. Letters are now available.
Even if the lightning strike kills the phone. This system of FM aerial through the telephone landline cord, it protects the radio, gives superior listening, and it doesn't kill the radio when there's a lightning strike anywhere nearby. So all in all, I wish I had never spent $150 buying a Digitech World Band Radio AR 1945, because it never lived up to expectations, particularly this business of having to have a preheated room for the speaker to feel comfortable to give you any sort of decent performance in. That's just, you know, unacceptable, absolutely unacceptable. So yeah, I'm really glad we got the rain, and I'm sorry that the lightning strike wiped out an allegedly $150 radio, but it didn't perform as well as a $15 one from the Innovations catalogue. So, warbles on a lot to YouTube. Ciao.